When did you and your man do the 69 position? Write it in the comment section. Because I feel like sometimes we get too complacent in our sex lives that we forget the most exciting positions that can bind both you and your man together. See, the 69 position is usually a difficult one because couples need to feel really comfortable with each other to do it. This is a position that is very active, and it is somewhat a nasty, freaky position because it is very vulnerable. It's a very vulnerable position that shows that you are so comfortable with your partner to the point that you can shove your junk right next to their faces without shame or shyness. All right. I mean, it's for couples that have gone far in their love lives. So if you're someone who likes getting blown and at the same time you love eating out your partner, then there really is no better sex position than number 69, baby. Now, in the 69 position, the two people involved would give and receive oral stimulation simultaneously. You already know how you can align yourself, right? So when you engage in this position with your partner, it's just a way of getting super turned on before the main intercourse. And a lot of couples usually find it highly intimate because of how close you and your mates are to each other. Because, I mean, one of you is literally on top of the other with your genitals on your faces and in their mouths. What's more intimate than that, honestly? Talk to me. Talk to me nice. This is not the kind of position you put yourself in with just a roadside guy or a woman. And neither is it a position that you put yourself in with someone whom you do not have a deep connection with on a sexual and emotional level, except you're just a hooker or a free-spirited person. It's so vulnerable, to be honest, and so sexual to be done with anyone. Another reason this sex position is kind of deep is that both partners receive pleasure simultaneously, which is highly erotic. You both are pleasing yourselves at the same time and probably moaning from it while your body parts is still in each other's mouth. Show me a more intimate position than this. I am waiting. Sure, the thought of, doing two things at the same time isn't the simplest thing in the world to do. And what I mean is that, the ability to give while receiving and feeling all of the sensation from receiving, yet still maintaining rhythm and consistency whilst being your man or your woman's pleasurer. But I have faith that you have that ability to do that. But nevertheless, do your best not to get too distracted by how incredible it feels. Even if your partner is a throat goddess or god. Don't be distracted. Sometimes one partner is so into the experience that the other partner just stops while they keep going. I think no one should be punished for having a magical tongue. Just make sure that as you are receiving, you're also giving it to the giver so that they can enjoy what you're enjoying too. Does that make sense to you? Now, in order to get the most out of this position, both you and your man need to practice this 69 often in order to get the hang of it. And the truth is that there is no need to rush it. No one is perfect at anything in sex without time and attention put into place. Now, with that said and done, let's talk about 69 position and its variation. It has a lot of variations that a lot of people don't know. Let me tell you something. 69 position is not only when the woman is on top and the man is under, because look, this position can be a truckload of fun. It just takes enthusiasm, curiosity, and strong mouth muscles to make it really work. So let's get into it. Let's dive into it. The first variation is what I call the classic 69. Now, listen to me carefully because I'm not going to be putting up pictures here, and I would do so well to explain so that you can imagine it in your head. Now, this is how the classic 69 works. You and your man can align yourself in such a way that your mouths are near each other's genitals. And this is done by having your man lie down on his back while you lie on top of your man. All right? With your knees straddling your partner's head like you're sitting on his face. And when you're in this position, the two of you can then blow and eat each other out. respectively and simultaneously. Sometimes there can be discomfort under the knee and the head. And for folks with larger or curvier bodies, depending on who is on top and who is at the bottom, it can be very, very uncomfortable, especially for extended period of time. If you're in that position, you're on top. That's why I would recommend that using a pillow under the head and the knee or even the bum is good. Like, the one who is at the bottom should use a pillow to raise their head so that there is no straining of the neck, while the one on top, can put the pillow underneath the buttocks of the person below so that it can have the easy projection. Do you get what I mean? Number 2 is what I call the inverted 69. And this is how you do it. This is how you and your partner engage in it. Now, understand that this is the same as classic 69 that I just finished explaining to you. But instead of the woman being on top, the man is the one who is on top of the woman, shoving his joystick inside her mouth. You get me? Now, I think while it's not really inherent in the particular variation in itself, the inverted 69 position has a tendency to give a rougher experience for the woman, depending on how fast and deep the man goes inside the woman's mouth. All right. But it's particularly great for the man. And that's if you want to try deep throating. Sorry, my tongue breaker is preventing me from pronouncing words rightly, but you know what I mean. Deep throating. So it's particularly very nice for the guy, especially if he wants to experience deep throating. He wants to go deeply into the woman's mouth, because with the man on top, he has more control of his thrusting ability, and he can go a lot harder and a lot deeper into the throat. And if you or your partner loves testicles, being shoved in their faces, then it will be a turn on for the receiver. Now, I know some of you are already imagining what I'm saying and getting a little bit wet down there or hard down there. Now, this is also good if the man wants to play that dominant role or wants to role play like he's punishing her for something that she did to him. You know, that kind of vibe where during the day you had upset your man and he tells you, if I catch you tonight, I am going to put you in 70 positions you never imagined you could be. And yes, inverted 69 is that position before the 70th position. Are you with me? Number 3 variation for 69 position is what I call the swinging me to heaven 69 position. This is how it works. If you're lucky enough to have a sex swing, then you absolutely need to try 69 while using it. That's why it's very important to have sex rooms like Christian Grey, where you have all sorts of sex toys and equipment to spice up your sex life. Now, if you have sex swing, one of you should try laying back in the swing with, the strap around your back. You could lower your butt with your heels touching the ground, depending on how low the swing is. Then the second partner, with your legs firmly on the ground, you could just bend over your partner who is on the swing in the 69 position. And from there, your genitals are in each other's faces and you're doing the Lord's work. You're sucking, you're leaking your way to heaven's gate. Voila. But try not to make the swing move too much, because it will make it uncomfortable and unenjoyable, especially when you're trying to catch on the joystick. You know what I mean. Number 4 is the comfortable sideway 69. Now, this is how you do this one. Instead of positioning on top of your partner, both participants, that's you and your partner, are lying on your sides like this. It's a very comfortable position. You're lying on your sides like this. He is lying on his sides like this. Opposite. You're just directly opposite each other, but you're just lying on the sides, right? So you have all his goodies displayed in your face like this. He has his goodies displayed on your face like this. and you have yours displayed on your face. So you could just lift your legs like this. He can lift his legs as well. But the advantage of this position is that it's really comfortable, right? So he has his junk in front of you, and he's just concentrated at yours, and you're concentrating at what is in front of you. And you also have the opportunity to wrap your hands around his waist and even massage his butt while you're doing the job. You know what I mean? It's a good position. I tell you, I honestly love that 69 sideways 69 position. It's just really intimate, honestly. So it's really, really comfortable, right? Because while you're trying to blow his trumpet, you're also getting your hands busy by caressing his butt. If you're like me, who likes to touch butts and rub it, then do it. You'll be adding more warm sensation around that area and, intensifying your man's experience with you. It's really good. Then the fourth variation is what I call the sex toy 69. Now, assume the classic or the sideways 69 position or any variation that works for you. Just assume that position. Then grab your partner's favorite toy to use on them while you grab your favorite sex toy for them to use on you too. You could use the powerhouse vibrators, and you could also use the joystick stroker. It can really be great for this position. Then feel free to go to town on each other with your toys. Don't forget about lubes as well. Lube is really good. Now, the fact is that not all 69 variation needs to involve the mouth. Sometimes it can be just as fun to use toys while assuming the same naughty position. So using toys is less of physical work, which could lead to increased focus on your own sensation, because the distraction that comes with both giving and receiving oral can make reaching climax less simple. So anything that you can do to make it more straightforward is a win-win situation, honestly, for me. Now, the fifth variation is what I call the squatting 69. Now, this is how it is done. Instead of having your partner lie on you, have him or her squat over you. Now, this is what I mean. The man is seated on the floor. The man is seated on the floor like this. His legs are straight forward, while the woman just goes down with her butt facing up. She just goes down like this. Her butt is facing the man, and she can also, if she's flexible enough, she can actually bend in such a way that she can, blow his trumpet as well. And while he's just there eating her out there. Do you understand what I mean? I hope you do understand what I'm saying. So all she just needs to do is just to squat. She's standing, but she's just, how do I do this? She's just standing, but then she would squat. You get what I mean? I don't want to do all these things so that you don't flag my video. So if she can bend enough to reach his joystick to blow, then that's a good one. But also take a breather, especially if you feel dizzy from staying, upside down, because this position would definitely require lower back, glute and quad strength and flexibility. But if you have it, then it's a fun variation of the classic 69. And the squat variation also allows for better ass slapping from a man. It's just right there in front of him. So what is it doing? Slap it. Number 6 variation is what I call the standing 69 or the upright 69. This one needs a strong man that can carry his woman upside down. And I live for it. I love it. It's a position for the freaky. It's a position for men and women who are very active in a gym. Because the man is standing and he's carrying the woman. The woman's junk is in front of him like this, and she's upside down. So what she's just upside down like that. And he's holding her like this. So her property is just in front of him, and it's just easier for him to just do whatever he needs to do, and she can do whatever she needs to do. She's upside down. You understand what I mean? She's upside down, and she's just bopping her head and blowing the trumpet. It's really get a man who is really strong, who is really active. That's why I always encourage couples to go out and go to the gym, be very active, because gym can also impact on your sexual life. So the perk of this variation is that as a man, you feel like a god. If you're able to pull this off, you feel like a god. Because you're holding your woman, you're strong, you're proving to your woman you're a man, you're strong. You got her. You got her. 100. But the con of this variation is that unless you are a muscle man, odds are that you won't have the strength to pick up your partner safely. That's why this position is ideal when your partner is particularly petite. That's the partner that you're carrying is very petite, or when you comfortably can lift weights in the gym. Now, don't go and carry what is bigger than you, and you land yourself in air and you start feeling embarrassed to explain what led to a broken neck or a broken waist. Ha. Number 7, and lastly, is what I call the penetrative 69. I mean, this is how it works. In addition to orally stimulating your partner, use either your finger or a sex toy to penetrate them. So for the man, you could suck their powerhouse while diligently penetrating the juicy part with a toy. Or if your partner is into it, you can eat their juicy part while you're digitally playing with her second door. For the man too, you could also, if your woman is also into it and she's brave, she could also do prostate play for you as well too. You know, just enjoy the 69. There are lots of variations. Just improvise. Figure out things that you can do, okay? Yeah, and that's it, guys. So if you really do enjoy my content, all you need to do is share, like, subscribe, and catch you on my next video tomorrow. Be back with something really exciting and juicy-licious. You don't want to miss a thing, all right? Mwah.